DID is fascinating to people. What would it be like if you didn't know who you are from minute to minute? But why is that? I'm Jenna, we're the D.D.N.O system. Let's talk about it. So as a writer, I fully recognize that DID can make a very interesting and challenging plot element. But there's more to it than that it has captured our attention in media, on TikTok, on YouTube. And I think a large part of it goes down to people asking, if I don't have my memories, my experiences, am I still me? What makes me me? And it's this deep foundational question that is so capturing to the imagination. Like, could that really happen? Like, if I didn't have these happy childhood memories and I only had these bad childhood memories, like, would I end up like this instead of like this? I recently read a book, The Midnight Library, in which the protagonist gets to go back and change moments of regret in their life and then live their life differently. The change of the personality of the protagonist as they've lived their life differently, I think, is very applicable to the fascination behind DID, because this is definitely a subject that we in the multiplicity community have to grapple with, but it's not a subject that people at large tend to consider. And I think that the experiences of people with O.S.D.D and D.I.D definitively show that environment does make up a large part of how you perceive the world and how you interact with the world. Because, for instance, in one of our alters' cases, they had no good experiences with men, period. So naturally they treated, I feel like it should be they trot every man. They treated every man with suspicion, distrust, and fear, because that's what their experiences told them. But it goes deeper than that, because society at large has not had therapy, hasn't plumbed their own depths. They haven't asked themselves, what is central to my being? So they don't really know. And they can get into these, this is where we see the media portrayal of the secret murderer, these fantasies of like, am I capable of that? Like, what is there in me? People in the multiplicity community have to confront our darkness. We have to look at all the parts of self and say, this collective is me. This is what I bring, the light and the dark. And by getting to know those parts, I can tell you what I'm not capable of. I'm not capable of intentionally hurting someone. I'm just not. Even my most angry, wounded parts, like in self-defense, yes, but just to intentionally hurt someone, there is not a part of me that is that. And so when people haven't wrestled with these questions and wrestled with themselves, they don't know, and they can get sucked into fantasy and go, oh, sure, maybe I am. Maybe I could I ever? And there's a fascination there. The truth is, yes, experience does dictate who you are and how you interact. But we have found that for us, there is a very bottom layer of commonality that we all share. And we vary quite a bit, but this commonality runs true. One of the things that we all share in common is that we don't want to harm. Even our most wounded, even our most jaded, don't want to cause harm? Would they defend in a heartbeat with sass and vigor? But do they want to just injure? None of us want that. All of us love nature to varying degrees. Like Anthony would like to look at it through the window. But that's a big part of us, even in our disparate natures. And so it has been a practice to not only get to know each other, get to know all of our different parts, aspects, personalities, all of our collective us, but it's almost been a game to find, oh, well, we have this in common. Do all of us have this in common? And to find these common threads that do run through all of us. So I think a lot of the fascination around DID comes from people not knowing themselves, not knowing what they're capable of, and being afraid to examine it. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, what your thoughts on this subject are.